What would you do if you mysteriously got $14,000 in the mail? Would you throw caution to the wind and pursue your dreams? That's exactly what Keyshia Cole did. Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, and I'm your host, Angelina, your queen of becoming, here to help you achieve emotional, spiritual, and financial prosperity. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Keyshia Cole, singer, songwriter, producer, reality TV star, and now she has a biopic of her life that she's been wanting to do for a very long time. It's called Keyshia Cole, This Is My Life Story, that premiered on Lifetime. As she depicts her life and the trials and tribulations that she had to go through to get to where she is today. And I want to talk about that a little bit because Keyshia Cole, she had a hard knock life. She didn't come, everything in her life wasn't great. She came from a mother who was addicted to drugs. She grew up not knowing who her father was until she was 35 years old. And, you know, things impact a child who has, one, come from a parent who's addicted to drugs, two, left with possibly feelings of abandonment, of not being raised by your parents. It does hurt to not even know who one of your parents is and whether they even care if you exist. And so I want to talk about that a little bit today, and the becoming of Keyshia Cole, and how Keyshia Cole was able to leave her traumatic childhood behind to pursue her dreams and become a Grammy nominated, charting billboards, okay? Album after album after album was a great success. So how in the world did she not let her circumstances dictate what her future was going to be? How did she overcome the things that her childhood said that she shouldn't have overcome, and she should still be there in the Bay Area, not living a great life? We're going to talk about that. Before we do, I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to this show, I started this podcast to help you become who you need to be, a better version of yourself, so that you can do what you're supposed to do, so that you can get in a position to win at love, life, and money. And then so this podcast, we talk about everything, any and everything that we need to talk about in order for you to see how you need to be in order to do what you need to do so that you can get what you want to get. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins. And then before we get into it, make sure that you pick up my book, Path to Prosperity, 17 Secrets to Building Wealth You Can Start Today. You all wrote this book to teach you how to build wealth when you come from nothing. And let me tell you that I know the secrets work because I've implemented the secrets myself. These are the secrets of the wealthy. This is how they make their money, manage their money, multiply their money, and protect their money. And all those secrets are in the book. So make sure you hit the link below in the description and get your copy today. Buy your copy today. All right, now let's get into it. Let's talk about Keyshia Cole. Keyshia Cole was born to a mother who was addicted to drugs. Now, it doesn't really say whether she got addicted to drugs after she had Keyshia, if she was addicted to drugs when she had Keyshia. I'm going to say maybe after Keyshia. If she was addicted to drugs before Keyshia, I'm thinking maybe she stopped for a while, because Keyshia doesn't appear to be of someone who has the impact of being a what we call quote unquote crack baby. But she had a mother who was addicted to drugs, had to give her up. She went to foster care, and a friend of the family was able to get her at the age of 2 and adopt her and take care of her. And in this time span, I believe when she was 12 years old, she was introduced to MC Hammer through her brother, made some music with MC Hammer. In her teenage years, she met Tupac. She was going to do a song with Tupac until he ended up passing away. And so somewhere around the age between 18 and 20, I'm not quite sure, she got a mysterious check in the mail for $14,000. And she got this $14,000, and to this day, she doesn't really know where it came from, but she got this $14,000. And she decided that she was going to throw caution to the wind. And this is my chance. This is my chance to get out of here. I'm going to Los Angeles. I'm going to go pursue my dream. I'm going to go get this record deal, and I'm going to make something of myself. And you say, well, okay, what big deal? Well, let's talk about this, because Keyshia Cole, in some aspects, being the child of someone who's addicted to drugs, in the movie, it's portrayed that she was always seeking her mother, always trying to find her mom, giving her mom money, hoping her mom would just come with her, hoping her mom would get off the drugs, and her mom never, during her childhood, her mom was not. So even as an adult, she was so worried about her mom, following behind her mom, trying to figure out how can she help her mom. And so that greatly impacted her. You can't even begin to think that being a child of someone who's addicted to drugs does not in some way, shape, or form impact their mental and emotional well-being. And then on top of that, she doesn't know who her father is, and so there's a void there. Usually, I don't want to just assume that for her, but usually there's a void with a person who is missing a parent, whether that parent decided they didn't want to come around, or whether you just don't know who that parent is. Then you're in foster care, and then you are adopted and you're placed in a nice home. But if her life was anything like it was in the movie, that was troublesome too, because of her love for her mother and wanting to be with her mom, but also being a child who's acting out because your mom is on drugs. She kept butting heads with her adoptive mother. And so life just wasn't good for her. She just had a hard time, but she had a dream. She wanted to sing. She wanted to be a singer. She knew she sang well. She believed in herself. So when she mysteriously got this $14,000 in the mail, she decided, this is my chance. This is my chance to change my life. And my question to you all out there would be, if you got the $14,000, mysterious or not, what would you do with it? Would you throw caution to the wind and go after your dream? Would you do something with that money that's going to change your life, or would you waste it away? Keyshia Cole went after her dream, and she took the money and she went to Los Angeles, and she started pursuing to get a record deal. Now, I'm pretty sure the money ran out because it took her 3 years to get the record deal. But the point is, she did it. She did it. Regardless of the fact that my mom was on drugs, regardless of the fact that I don't know my father, regardless of the fact that I'm butting heads with my adoptive mother, regardless of the neighborhood that she came from, regardless of the fact that her siblings were out there in the streets, well, at least one of them was out there in the streets as well, regardless of the fact that everything going on in her life says that she shouldn't make it, she was determined to make it. And when she got the chance, she seized the opportunity. A lot of us out there get chances, but we do not seize the opportunity. We're asking, we're praying, we're dreaming. God hears us, He hears our thoughts, and He sends us the opportunity, and we don't take advantage of it because we're scared, we're doubtful. But regardless of what her childhood said that she should be, she said, I'm not staying right here. I'm going to do something with my life. And Keyshia Cole decided that she was going to do something with her life. Now let's talk a little bit before I get too far into this. I do want to talk a little bit about the effects of how this could have affected her, and some of the stuff that was depicted in the movie of how her life, her childhood growing up really did impact her. Now let's first talk about coming from a parent who is on drugs. Normally, coming from a parent who's on drugs, it builds anger in a child because we're angry. We're angry that you're on drugs. We're angry that you're not here for me. You're not here for me emotionally. You're not here for me physically. You just get angry. Like, do you not love me enough to stop doing this? Why in the world can you not stop doing this? Why in the world are you not being there for me like I want you to, like I need you to be? And deep down inside, you have an understanding that, okay, it's drugs and this is the way it is, and my mom's addicted. But unconsciously for some and consciously for others, I'm still angry because you should be able to stop and you should be able to choose me over the drugs, and you're not. And that really, I can't really say that that showed up in the movie of her being angry, but there's, if you look on on the internet, you can find all kind of beefs that she's been in, and she talks about how she fell out with Eve. Her and Eve were good friends and they did a song together, but they were out one day and somebody grabbed Eve's purse and she turned around and she punched the person. Eve didn't like that. So Eve distanced herself from Keyshia, but Keyshia was mad, right? How you gonna distance yourself from me? I'm taking up for you. I did this for you, and then you gonna turn on me? But she had to realize as she was becoming the person that she needed to be, and as she was evolving in her being, that that's not how you handle things, and that maybe I could have handled that a little bit differently. And understanding Eve's point of view, where Eve may have been coming from as to why she didn't want to associate herself with that type of behavior. It being coming from a parent who is addicted to drugs also brings about loneliness and feelings of sadness. And you can see that depicted in the movie. Okay, you could clearly see the sadness in Keyshia and the loneliness of not having her family, not having her mom. Even though she had foster parents that took care of her, it's not the same. It's not the same as growing up in the house like you see everyone else with their parent and their parent or parents and their siblings, and having that family unit. Now, God has a way of making sure we still get what we need to get so we can get to where we need to go, right? And because God saw it fit for her to be adopted at 2 and be in a loving home, I'm pretty sure that was helpful to her to not get stuck in her circumstances, And so God sometimes knows that we are born and raised in unfortunate circumstances, and he makes ways for us to be able to get out of our circumstances. And he did that with Keyshia Cole by allowing her to still experience what it means to have 2 parents in the home, 2 parents that love you and to take care of you regardless of what was going on with her mom. But you could tell in the movie that there was sadness and loneliness, and a lot of that turns into making bad decisions as an adult. So for example, she made some probably not so good decisions when it came to relationships, because as depicted in the movie, although we know some things are always exaggerated, she maybe made a little bit too quick of these decisions to go with the men that she chose, who then later on hurt her and broke her heart. Now let's talk about abandonment, because while her mom was in her life, she was in and out of her life, and that leaves feelings of abandonment. When you're abandoned, sometimes you have self-doubt. You don't believe in yourself. You doubt yourself because you don't know that you're worthy. You don't know if you're lovable. Because you're not understanding, why are they not there for me, and why are they not choosing me? Why am I not a priority? Sometimes you may develop low self-esteem and confidence. Okay, but I have to say, at least from watching Keyshia Cole's life and watching the movie and just being a fan of Keyshia Cole, despite being abandoned, I would say, she might have had some self-doubt here and there, but I believe she believed in herself. Because why else would you take this $14,000, throw caution to the wind, move to LA to try to get a record deal? At some point, we're confident in ourselves, we're not doubting ourselves, and we know that we are deserving of the dream that we're dreaming. Okay, so I applaud Keyshia that not all of her childhood made her into someone that she wasn't supposed to be. Although that's a lot of times what ends up happening is we have these bad things, and we experience these bad things growing up, and it turns us into someone we're not supposed to be. And it turns us into someone who doubts, who's insecure, who has low self-esteem, who is not confident in ourselves. We don't think we're worthy. We don't think we're lovable. Okay? And we give up on ourselves. Nobody's believing in me. Why should I believe in me? Nobody believes in me, but Keyshia Cole believed in herself. And so despite all of that, Keyshia went for it. It took her 3 years to get a record deal. But she did it. Now, the one probably not so good thing that came out of all of this is I do believe that she developed codependency, and that sometimes is what happens when you have a parent on drugs, especially if you're in the home with the parent and then you end up feeling like you have to take care of the parent. I believe that Keyshia Cole developed codependency, and she was a rescuer, and that was depicted in the movie. She was always trying to rescue mom. You know, how can I get this money and give it to mom? Make sure, go check on mom, make sure she's okay. Trying to get mom to come with me, trying to get mom in rehab, trying to make sure mom's okay. Spending her whole life, let me get mom out of this environment. Let me get mom on a reality show. We all can make some money. Maybe if she makes some money, she'll make some different choices, and she'll realize this is a better life than being on drugs. And so Keyshia Cole has spent a lot of her years trying to rescue her mom. And I'm pretty sure that impacted her greatly mentally and emotionally. It impacted her relationships, as seen in the movie. But despite it all, y'all, she was Grammy nominated. Okay, can we talk about her achievements? Okay, she her first two albums went certified platinum. Her third album debuted as number two on the Billboard charts. Her fourth album debuted at number 9 on the Billboard charts. Her fifth album debuted at 10 on the Billboard charts. Sister was killing it, okay? Every time an album came out, she's top 10. Top 10, y'all. And I'm pretty sure she was nominated for more than just Grammys. You'll have to go look that up for yourself. But despite where she came from, she went for her dream, and it came true. She worked hard and produced some really good albums to the point that they were debuting top 10 on the Billboard charts. You all, Keyshia Cole, I applaud her. She is the example of not allowing your circumstances to determine who you are, not letting your circumstances define your identity, not letting your circumstances determine the life that you're going to live, but taking control of your life and making something happen. But I don't want you to miss that she seized the opportunity that was presented to her. A lot of you are presented with opportunities, and you don't take advantage of them. Okay? You let the door close on you and you miss out. You have got to stop missing out. You have got to stop doubting yourself. You have got to stop thinking that you're not worthy. You've got to stop not thinking that you deserve it, that you're not enough, you're not smart enough. You are. God has given you all that you need. All you have to do is seize the opportunity. All right? Now, where you are is not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and